Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday morning, which means it's Notes of the Week here on Sick of This Shit Publications with Nick Paro, not your dad, and Walter Rhein, our level 36 magic user. Today is a special episode again, as always, because every episode is special here. Is as you all come on in, we're going to be talking about a propagandized reality. And we brought on our friend Jack, who is out in Canada now because he's been chased out of our country through propaganda and hate. And we wanted to welcome our friend Jack on to talk about that because right now we live in a hugely propagandized society that's hurting people, hurting every person. Walter and I talk about this all the time, is white supremacy hurts everyone. But Jack, you're part of a community that's specifically being targeted right now, and it hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts you, it hurts us, it hurts everyone, and your voice is important. So welcome, brother. I'm glad to have you with us on Notes of the Week for today. Not the first time we've talked because you've been chronically illing out with me before, but it's first time Walter's meeting you. So Jack, can you introduce yourself just a little for the audience? Say what you're comfortable with saying about yourself, and then we'll get into it as always. We'll have our normal intro discussion for everyone as you come on in. Hit the hearts. We've got our question form QR code. I'm going to see if I can point in the right direction over Walter's head on that far side. Submit questions. Good job, Walter. Nice. Submit questions with or any pictures or things like that. Think comments you have for us on Sick of This Shit publication and Notes of the Week. We have a special piece of art, two special pieces of art that we're going to be showing off today. But Jack, as I finish monologuing, please introduce yourself to everyone. Thank you for being with us today, my friend.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate you having me on. Walter, wonderful meeting you, brother. Love hearing all your work. Yeah. My name is Jack. I'm a 36-year-old trans man. I'm Portuguese, born in Jersey.
Are you 36 this year, or did you turn 36 last year?
I'm an 89 baby.
Oh, you beat me by a year. I'm a 90 baby.
Yeah, that's why I have a lot more grays than you do right now.
Mine migrated to my beard.
You guys aren't going to win. You guys aren't going to win that battle.
This one's the bane of my existence.
I lost my.
Oh, you'll find that it just starts
I found one
spreading.
in my sideburn.
I've got a couple in my mustache that I didn't notice before. I'm like, where did this come from? Anyway, sorry.
So on that note, as a trans man, I had the privilege of growing a beard in my 30s. And the joke amongst trans men, thank you, I appreciate that. I'm waiting for the mustache to fill in. And
it takes a while and some people don't ever get it.
Yeah, my joke has always been like, I don't know why the hair on my head like started falling off of my hairline, missed my upper lip completely and went like straight for my ass. Like just straight furry about. It might be TMI, but like
we're TMI here a lot.
Understand that, and a lot of trans men have that experience that like as soon as we start to, we're like, yeah, we're gonna grow these big burly beards, and then like, nope, we'll grow hair everywhere else. Yeah, except for the palms of our hands usually, but so I've been a nurse. As I digress, I've been a nurse for about 10 years. In 2025, I was assaulted twice on the job. Called the F slur both times. First time physically assaulted on top of having my civil human rights violated and just basic indignity. Both times that happened, I didn't really receive much support from anyone around me, which is like on track for most queer people's experiences. Because, who cares? Stop making noise, get back in the wheel cog. The machine needs to keep moving. So after that second assault, and, with whispers that the FBI might be trying to classify trans folks as domestic terrorists, which I mean, they did because we're gender traitors. So if a gender traitor is a domestic terrorist, I guess I am too. Which means like I don't really know if it's safe for trans folks to cross borders now. I have spoken with some attorneys here in Canada, and they're like, "Nope, don't get near it." So that's just I I want to, as a quick intro to me. Hey, it's me. I'm Jack. There's more to me. I have my blanket that I'm knitting in my lap right now.
Oh, I
I
love
love
that.
writing with. Yeah, yeah. I write almost exclusively in fountain pens. There are a lot
Beautiful.
cooler things about me, but right
Yeah.
now in this moment, I think the most important thing is that because of the propaganda, there's this true fear about trans people in the
Yeah.
US. And I don't think folks realize that this is a face of a trans person. This isn't the face of every trans person, but this is what we look like everyone else.
Mhm,
Our blood is the same color as yours.
mhm, mhm.
So we need to cut this fear down because right now my blood will run if I try and go home.
Mm.
And you're
So
not
I
the
can't go home. I have no
like you
family here but my husband.
Mm.
and like you said, you're not the only story. You're
Right.
not the only trans face. You're not the only trans person. But your story is so ununique at this moment. And
Mm.
that's so that hurts my soul that it's so
Mhm,
common.
mhm.
Like
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
isn't you're not unique in that.
No.
I don't want you to be going through any of this.
Yeah.
And there's so many others out there like you that don't have a platform either to speak about their
Yeah.
story, are
Yeah.
afraid to speak about their story, are in places they can't speak about their stories, are not. You have just enough privilege right now, and I say that loosely in
Yeah.
terms of
And
privilege, is that you can speak your story, and I'm going to use my privilege to get
yeah.
it the fuck out there. Like,
Yeah.
because your story is super important right now. And it
And I'll say it too,
highlights the
Nick.
danger for everyone. Sorry to interrupt.
Right. No, it's okay. And I'll say it too, to your point. I While I was living in New Jersey, I was not out as a trans man. I just lived my life. I didn't correct anyone because what's it to anyone? What's in my pants, right? Like that's weird. That like we all have such an and by we all I just mean like the GOP has an obsession with genitals that is so weird to me.
Mm.
Like
Mhm.
it's so strange how obsessed they are with genitalia. Like I don't know of a like as a queer
Yeah.
person, I don't think about genitals that much,
Yeah.
and I don't have a
Mhm.
preference on them. So
Yeah.
like it's weird.
Yeah.
But as I digress, I forget where I was going with that. What were you saying, Nick? For privilege, right? In the US, I did not have that privilege
Yeah.
because if I spoke out the way that I'm speaking out now, right?
Mhm.
Who's to say I wouldn't be sexually assaulted in a restroom?
Yeah.
Because it would put a target on my back, right?
Mhm.
And right
Mhm.
now, like Slim Pickens, uh, you imagine ICE with like a trans man in their rotation for the nonsense
Mhm.
they do. I'm sure Jen would be like, "Fuck yeah, brother, stay away." Um,
Mhm.
but like, this is the reality that we live in,
Yes.
and ICE. There are Latino trans people. There
Yeah.
are Black trans people. There are. This is a disgusting word, but I'm going to use the word that the administration is using. There are illegal looking trans people, right?
Mhm.
We have tattoos. I've got piercings in my face. My full name is very, very um, Latino. So Slim
Yeah.
Pickens, right? I'm five
Yeah.
feet tall. I'm 5 feet tall, and I hang out in Newark, New Jersey
Mhm.
when I was back home, right? Slim Pickens. I think we've all been going along with business as usual, and I've been raising the alarm now since inauguration day, since those executive orders came through where he defined sex as binary at the point of conception, because at that point I could no longer get a passport. Um, and then it wasn't until months later where affidavits came out for trans folks to sign an affidavit to send in with a passport request for you to be able to get a passport that matches your all of your other paperwork, right? Like some trans people, not all trans people, but go through a name change, gender marker changes, they may change their birth certificates, right? So everything matches who they are, and there's no incongruencies. So now, right, sent in an affidavit. Now there's a list. There's a list of us. There already was access to us based on our healthcare records, DMV records, but it makes it that much easier if we have to actively send in papers saying that we are trans, which I have had to do. So I have had to send in papers. There's no reason for me to like mum's the word it because it's already there, right? And it's something that people need to know is happening, that any trans person that needed to get a passport in 2025 had to declare themselves as a transgender American. So now there is a list of us. We are next. Once they run out of people that look like they don't belong here, the next group of people that don't belong here are transgender people, because we've already seen it in all the laws they're passing, right? Trying to get trans kids out of playing sports. Why? Who cares? They're kids. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, let kids fucking play sports.
And how are you gonna what is every gym coach gonna be checking balls?
There are a lot,
Like,
and you say
a
that.
lot of them already do. But
Yeah,
now we're
and you
giving them the green light to do it. We're writing it into law. Go ahead and sexually molest my kids. What the hell? Like,
parents will
what's wrong
never
with this
let their kids
nation?
play sports anymore. Like,
Like,
there's going to be so
they're
many
so
kids.
they're so mad at me that they want to let grown men look at their kids' junk. Fucking
Yeah.
sick.
And this isn't like, let's take this small point right here, because this is should be such a small issue.
Yeah.
There's what, like 11 trans kids in the nation who fucking play sports that are known about. Like, who gives a fuck? Let those kids have fucking fun. They're
Let them have
children.
a childhood.
They're innocent. Like, let them have goddamn
Let them
fun.
have a childhood.
And
I want to say,
it
yeah, Mike.
scares the shit out of other parents. Like, who's going to let their kid play a sport if they say are a slightly masculine looking girl or a feminine looking boy? Who's going to let their kid play a fucking sport if they're going to risk having some man or some woman they don't know inspect your kid's genitals? That's assault and rape.
Yep.
And
I want to mention, a couple of years ago, my kids, it was a co-ed soccer team. It's like, who gives a shit? You know, are we just against co-ed teams? I just say that, and it's like, it's a slightly different situation. It's like, yeah, he's like, your kids and my daughters can outrun most of the boys, because it's like, and this all comes from this toxic masculinity where the right wing thinks that, oh, men are the all powerful. It's like, my daughters will kick your son's ass. It's like, just get your toxic masculinity out of here. But I also just wanted to say, Jack, my heart's going out to you. And I love that you're here. I love your bravery. I love you. I love you as a person. Just talking to you in these 5 minutes.
I love you as a person too.
Thank you, sir. And it's just, and this, what's going on, this cruelty and the indifference. It's the indifference is what makes me so mad. And it goes all the way back to when I was in, a really conservative town, and just for having empathy, you'd be targeted. And there were so many times I got the shit kicked out of me until I started deciding that, okay, I became less afraid of being punished for fighting back than dying from allowing people to beat the shit out of me. And then I found, you kind of come into your power. And collectively as a nation, we're kind of doing this because everybody just wants to, you get in those bullying situations, and all the parents and all the other adults, they want to say, well, you should talk to them. You should understand their point. It's like, fuck you. You don't know what I just went through today. Why am I'm bleeding, you motherfucker. Look at me. And they're just like, well, what did you do to make those people? And it's like, look at the levels to which this kind of dialogue is in every part of our society. I saw it on the Brady Bunch the other day. Go ahead.
So I'll tell you, Walter, and that kind of messaging is so toxic and so pervasive that, like, as a nurse, right? If I were to go to my charge nurse and be like, that patient just assaulted me, they punched me, and they called me a motherfucker, right? My charge nurse would go, well, what happened, like what escalated, like what happened, what did you do to let the situation escalate, and what could you have done to de-escalate? And I'm like, I don't know, probably nothing, because they're an old man with a UTI that just punched me because you guys don't allow us to use soft restraints anymore on people that are confused for the first 24 hours. Like, we've gotten so soft on, like, we're not trying to, like, and again, this might be a touchy subject for everybody in the room, but as a nurse who has gotten punched, kicked, scratched, yelled at. I almost got David and Goliath with a stethoscope on the side of my head. I have had, I've been called F slurs. I have been, luckily wasn't shot at, but could have been. These, like, I think we forget that nurses are not robots performing tasks, but are other human beings. And sometimes we need to protect them from the people that we're trying to help, so that they can get to a place where they don't hurt others or themselves. So it's again, it's that, like, whatever, what they're trying to call toxic empathy, right? It got to the point that is so toxically empathetic to try and hold someone down so we could help them, that we have to, like, be now so ginger that in the healthcare field, it's like, can we actually, like, put our hands on people to, like, cure them, or are we going to get sued because, like, we can't?
Well, it makes me think
it's tough, and it's in, like, all parts of life, right? It's all so pervasive.
Yeah, it makes me think of the mask. It's like, wear a mask in the hospital, and it's like the right refuses to wear a mask unless it's an ICE raid or a Klan rally. Then they're totally happy with it. But it's like, to save somebody's life, they would just never do it. And then the invention of these controversies, because I'm not a nurse. I don't know what you have to deal with. But then you have somebody that's like, well, my grandfather, they used a soft restraint, and then they're like, that's so awful. And it's like, but he was beating the shit out of people. Like, that's the part they leave out. And just like, but like the
beating
funnel,
the shit out
like
of people,
the opinion
painting
funnel,
poop all over walls.
And the opinion funnel, it just disregards the victim. It, like everything in the United States, the only side we ever hear is the side of the oppressor. And we just never get to hear the side of the people that are oppressed. It's like completely pushed off this thing. So you being here talking today, it helps to rectify that. So again, thank you for your courage, and just thanks for being you. I really appreciate you being here.
This also leans into, and I want to touch on two topics here. This leans into the like the unaccountability thing. This whole topic that we're going to be talking about today is accountability, and like wearing masks and acceptance, and all of our notes are around it pretty much. And it's awesome. We have a really convenient theme for the day, especially on our notes and how they roll into each other. We'll get to those. Again, everyone, welcome. Notes of the week. It's a 2-hour show, so we're taking our time. Jack, if you can't stay for the whole thing, we totally understand. But if you can, so glad to have you for the full 2 hours.
He's got to tap out. I got to get out of here.
Yeah, and let us know if you got to tap out too, or when you got to tap out. And
no, I'm all right. I got my husband here who said he's going to make me fresh coffee.
Love it.
I'm sure he said that in his heart sometimes.
I'm here with my Shakespeare insult mug. And so I've got some insults for some of these people. I've had this mug since I was in, I think it was college when I first got it. And there's some really good ones on here. So we'll go over a few of those when we get to the artwork section for the day. We've got some really beautiful art that we're going to show. We've got one at least from, we've got one on from a community member, from B's True Verse. So if you have not followed B's True Verse Free Verse, if you're here, B, please wave so that people can subscribe to you from the chat, because you're awesome. Hopefully you get here, if you're not here right now, before we show off your art and showcase what you sent to me, because I loved it and it made me happy. And that's kind of what we need to do today. Thanks, Cindy. My back does feel a little bit better today. I'm taking it easier. I've got my nice standing pad. I've got a hot pad that I use. I'm keeping myself healthy. I'm keeping care of myself. And Melissa, I'd love to have you on. If you're free, we could pull you in to the discussion. Your name won't show up on the show, but I'd love to, for now anyway, and I can nab you for credit at the end. If you want, if you've got some time, we'd be happy to have you on with us for this discussion too. Melissa, you said in the chat is he has no idea what to do if ICE shows up for her son who's trans. And he's not an immigrant, but he works at a restaurant, and that tends to be an easy target for ICE. Is they just make assumptions because they're racist in their profile. And maybe it'd be good if we all figured out how to make plans with each other on how to support each other in these scenarios, because some people can't leave, unfortunately. And it's so sad that we have to say people should leave. But the question is, where is safe? And if you leave, when do you leave? And how do you know?
I can answer some of these questions.
I'd love to know from your experience.
Some of these questions.
Too. But I also want to, before you get into that, I want to touch on a really important point you made about the passports. First off, your bravery and your courage for coming on is incredible. Thank you. You are a patriot. You are doing all of the hard civic work, even being assaulted and harassed and beaten down. You still continue to come out and speak truth to power. And you're just a good person, Jack. I hope you know that.
I appreciate that. That's all my mom.
Okay, awesome. Melissa, I'm gonna send you a DM here. And I cannot wait to get into this. Jack is going to be one of my guests for Intelligent Masculinity series here coming up in February.
Great.
And I'm so excited to have Jack in the conversation, because that's the whole point, is we get a full picture of what intelligent masculinity looks like. But sorry, meandering. You mentioned that they have already made the list of trans people with passports.
Yes. Yeah.
This is more. This touches everybody, because they have already made lists of autistic kids. They have already made, and they are demanding lists from Penn for Jewish students and faculty members. They're going to demand lists for disabled people. If this sounds like what the Nazis did in the early years of concentration camps in the Holocaust, when they rounded up disabled people and autistic children and trans folks and those who were lesser, who were considered a drain on the system, they are the first targets. That's me. I am a disabled veteran. I'm a disabled American, very disabled. Like, this is my job because I can manage to do it these hours of the day. They have lists of us. They want us. They want us gone. Jack's story touches every fucking person. And we've got joined. She won't show up on the Substack chat.
Hi, Melissa, good to see you.
Welcome, Melissa Corrigan.
Hey, Melissa.
Hey, what's going on?
Good to see you, and good to meet you, Jack.
So good meeting you, Melissa.
It's good to have you. So welcome to the discussion, Melissa.
Yeah, just diving right in. We were talking about the workplace where my son works, and how the ACLU used to have an app where you could hold down the side button. It was back during Occupy, and then again they used it during Black Lives Matter. I believe they were still using it then. It was developed back in 2011, but you could hold down the side button and it would begin filming, and then as soon as the video terminated, it would send a copy to the ACLU, your local ACLU, and a copy to whoever you you would set up, like your emergency contacts. And they've taken all of these type of apps that we can find off the App Store. So if somebody knows of an app like that where you can configure an auto send a message or a video, because his concern is
Can I, real quick, Melissa, if we have anyone in the chat that codes and can make an app for our community, and then we can use it and disseminate it, that would be great, because I don't think I would trust anything that's in the App Store that's not self-created at this point, because of all the propaganda out there.
Right.
And, so I think we have smart people in our community, and someone can take that project on.
Yeah, I want to make sure people take that to heart. We need to do open source software development right now. And we need to do community action-based open source software development. If that means maybe, like, I'm a prior software engineer. I was a senior DevOps engineer, but I don't have the time. Like, I don't have the time. I want to be the one to do it. I want to be the one who can say, Jack, I can make this for you. But I can't make that promise. I cannot say that I'm going to be the one to do it, because I have to do all these other things. Like what I'm doing right now, I think is just as important to be able to get these messages out. We need, and I can help on tech side, on nerd mode for people. Like, I love nerd mode. I want to teach. I want to help. And I'm glad to help give tools, but we need folks in the community who want to say, open a GitHub repository or a set of GitHub repositories and say, send it to me. Send me the link and say, hey, this is the GitHub repository that we're making this open source app on. Can we boost this? And I will promote the shit out of it. I'll promote the hell out of it, because I have ideas too that I want to get done, but I just don't have the time. And we need, this has to be, there's a million
Jim Dandy
voices.
in the chat's going to help, I think.
Oh yeah,
great.
Jim Dandy.
I'm tagging
if you
Jim
Dandy.
Help.
Yeah, I know another guy too. I'll talk to him after this is over.
Yeah, and I'll talk to folks in Lev Parnas's network, because I know folks in that network. Like I'm friends with folks there, and I'm trying to get hired to support Lev. Like, I'll be open. I'm trying to make some money too, but I'm trying to get hired to support Lev in like digital media, which is what I'm really good at. Like, it's also what I studied in college. I derailed this conversation. I'm sorry. I studied music theory and sound engineering for my minor was audio engineering and sound design, which I have realized comes really in handy when you're trying to do media work. And I'm like, oh shit, I can now do the job that I went to school for, and I didn't even know it.
Look
anyway,
at that. All the
going
people
back
that
into
said,
this,
what are you going to use that degree?
Yeah, what are you going to use that liberal arts degree for? Well, fuckers, proved you wrong. Two-finger salute, motherfuckers. I got you. I'm doing audio engineering and sound design now. What you got to do? I also don't have any more student loan debt. Thank you. Thank you, disabilities. See, I'm the proof that disability support works.
See, you're the welfare queen. That's why
I am a welfare
had to go
queen.
to Canada. No,
bro, I'm the biggest welfare queen there is. Like, the government, taxpayers
not as big as Narcan Leon.
Bills, taxpayers pay for my VA disability checks. Taxpayers.
We should all be welfare queens. We
hell
all pay
yeah,
into
we
it already.
should.
What the hell?
I'm so much happier because I get
sense.
support. I'm not driving myself insane going, I can't work. I can't work. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I have a support system. And I'm lucky because I'm a disabled veteran. Everybody should have that same support system. Like, that's what I advocate for.
The basic support system of like having access to healthcare and not needing to do physical labor for it.
Yes.
Or like,
that
or
part.
be enslaved to someone or something, right? To just be able to like, I need a month off for my brain, right?
And at what
to
point,
be able to take that month off for your brain.
And if you get too sick to work, you just die. That's sort of like, it always drove me nuts that nobody even talks about. It's like, I'm so sick, I couldn't go to work. I lost my job. I lose my health insurance. Yeah, it's like nobody ever talks about
happened
this.
To me.
People act like I'm absurd for bringing it up. Natasha says she can help us with IT too. She's going to talk with Nick and I in a couple weeks.
Awesome, yeah. And so if you are interested in supporting something like that,
heck yeah, Natasha.
Building a app that is, because I was talking with my good friend Courtney, who's in a huge supporter of this community. She and I work back and forth together a lot and share ideas. Is we need a communications app anyway that is free of these fuckheads. We need a parallel system of support that we all own, that we are all co-op community member ownerships of. And if the more of you who want to volunteer and support, email me at info@sickofthisshitpublications.com. I'll put it in. It's in all of my newsletters. Email me or submit to the question form that we have over Walter's head on that side and say, hey, I want to support on tech. we will add you to the list, and we will put together and if you have a signal, send your signal name, and I will help support putting together a signal group for anyone who wants to be involved in that sort of development and system. And you can pass ideas, you can drop GitHub links, you can drop whatever you need there so that folks can be connected, and that I can help facilitate that connection and pass knowledge that I might have.
Yeah,
Jim Close, I'll drop it in the chat.
And also people just need to get plugged in with their immediate communities. And like, if you live in any type of metro area, just look for your local maker space, walk in the door and say, where's the local mesh network? And they'll tell you. They'll all know exactly what you're talking about, and they'll be able to plug you up with who has it and what its reach is and how you can get plugged in. But I mean, I've been watching some videos on how to build a mesh node for under $50 that you can have at your property. You can have in a go bag. So if you're somewhere and comms get cut, you can still have some mode of communication. And as crazy as it thinks, and I've got a ham radio, and as crazy as it sounds, I think we're probably rapidly approaching. Where'd Jack go?
He'll be right back.
Okay. Oh, good.
I think he's here. There he is.
Yeah, the communications thing.
Faces.
My connection is probably as unstable as I am.
So yeah, local communications, like immediate local communications, needs to be sort of top of mind. Especially, we saw the Verizon outage. I'm not entirely convinced that was accidental, or so we need to just be prepared to have a fallback and not be so reliant on our existing corporate networks.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Parallel. And you'll be seeing me actually, your weirdo friend and I are going to be starting a series.
We had a great talk yesterday.
Oh yeah, they're awesome. I love Weirdo.
Yeah, fantastic.
And I want to have Weirdo and I are going to start Friday discussions on parallel systems of support. I'm going to host that over on Banner and Backbone so that it gets as much audience as it can. Anyone Weirdo, I may be talking out of turn, but I'm going to invite at least some of my colleagues here. Is if y'all want to talk about parallel systems of support with us, please join in those discussions, because the more we have, the better, and the more information we have around, and like the larger our open source community is, the better. There's a million problems that a million voices can solve, and that doesn't mean you have to be the one speaking. You don't have to be me or Walter or Melissa or Jack down that way. It's hard to point. I don't know how to do the pointing yet.
Go backwards.
Where Jack is.
Down's got to be down still.
Down is still down, but right and left are backwards, and it's weird to me. And like, you don't have to be the four of us, or an Ellie Leonard, or a Zev Shalev, or a Shane Yerk. But if you build and are part of this team that builds a independent communications platform that starts out as a support system for the trans community, but also for us, all of us, like it is a parallel system of support, you will get so much self-joy and self-love and outside validation, because so many people you will never meet will be saved because of the work you did. And it's important. And that's the work we need right now, are the people who are going in the back, who are supporting every single one of us, so that we can come out and say, hey, there's this fucking amazing new app that you all should be a part of. And that can be well vetted, that you have a safe communication platform on, that you know you're going to be safe and isn't owned by those fuckheads who want to kill you.
Yes.
If you are part of that, imagine how good you will feel when you're done doing it. And as you're doing it, let yourself feel good when you're doing the good thing. Give yourself that credit too. It's important. And so I want to use this as the chance to go into our second part of our show, which is the artwork.
Great.
because we've got Melissa here too, and I want to show off pretty artwork just for our friends. And there's some fun ones in here that, Melissa, I think you're going to get a hoot out of a couple of these.
Oh, good.
We're gonna start though with a beautiful piece of artwork that Walter's daughter did, his youngest daughter. Correct?
The other daughter. I have to show off the other daughter too.
You got some talented artists.
I know. Man. I'm so proud.
I gotta get my son in there too.
Oh, we're having so much fun with that. I'm wearing her out.
Pictures are amazing.
I'm just like, honey.
She really got Arturo with his rosy cheeks.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. How do I commission one? I'm going to commission your daughter.
Oh, well, we could talk. Yeah, they'd love to. Well, actually, once money's involved, then they could kind of light up. But this was actually just from school when she did this. She had a really good art teacher, and I was always talking to this teacher. But this was just beautiful. I really like. I don't even know what it is. I don't know if it's like melted crayon or I couldn't ever figure it out. But I'm like, that just makes me happy. They do good work.
It's so pretty. The texturing on it is so fun and so amazing. This reminds
me, color gradient too.
Yeah, this reminds me of a piece of artwork that Stephanie Wilson, that I'm going to show off of hers next week if she's okay with it.
Yeah.
This reminds me a lot of that, where it's just that like beautiful like shades of just like the drips of the oil paints or the crayon or whatever is used to make the art. It's very almost 3D.
It's like Matisse.
Yeah. I always like that. It looks like the light shining through it kind of colors, and it's not watercolor though, but it's similar to that. And yeah, you could this is what you put on a wall if you don't have a window, and it's just sort of like almost as good as a window then.
I love it. It's so pretty. So pretty. And so too, remember, I'll put up in the corner so everyone can get it. In the top right-hand corner of your screen is a QR code for our question form. You can submit artwork too. If you would like to have artwork featured, we have at least one featured piece from a submission from last week. Like I said, from B's True Verse, Free Verse, who writes amazing poetry too. And so this is, Walter, I love this. Your daughters are so amazing.
Oh, I tell you, every Christmas I've always got art supplies. It's always like just a staple. And we sit down and we do so much, and I do it too, just to relax. And we've sat down and done things together. And I'm still working on illustrating the fairy novel. And I keep pressuring them. It's got to happen. That's just my dream in life. Almost to the point where when it does happen, I don't know what I'll have to live for anymore. But the fairy novel I wrote for them, we'll sit and write this and illustrate it. I was thinking, like, for book promotion, I might have him illustrate like 12 scenes and then release that as a calendar, because I remember those old Lord of the Rings calendars I had before.
That would be so amazing.
Isn't that a nice idea for promoting a book and to sell it and everything? So but I'm just the more I can have my kids be involved on this and their profile, and it warms my heart. I got a couple more waiting. But all the people, when I'm scrolling through and I'm seeing their pictures in the profile, the profile pic is something my daughter drew, and it's just all over Substack now. And it's just like, oh, that makes me, and I like the one with Arturo, especially because Arturo is he's a badass looking dude. And it's like my daughter just painted his soul instead. Like she just looked past. And it's like, he looks like he's a guy who's used to having people mess with him. He's kind of got that expression on his face. And she's just like, this is a kind human being. I'm just going to paint him like an angel. And I just think that's so lovely. I'm going to tell him that this week.
There was so much joy in Arturo's. Yeah. Arturo's piece is so much joy.
Yeah.
I love it. You should do a gallery post at some point, or Walter, with all of the
I did do one kind of this morning where I had all the profiles.
Yeah, that people have been asking. Those are so cool. Like I want those to be everywhere. I'm so glad people are taking them and using them as their profiles.
On Substack,
and it's so fun.
I had to do a double take on Shane's. I was like, wait, is that a cartoon? It looks so much like him that like
Well, she
when
turned
you
us
look
into
real quick.
princesses. Well, she did. I
Yeah.
told Shane that. I'm like, that's kind of my daughter's style. I'm like, do our pictures for the Rage, the Friday rant. And she princessified us. And I'm just like, okay, I guess that's what we needed.
Your
No, your
daughter said,
daughter's
y'all
onto
need to touch
something.
grass.
Yeah.
Your daughter's onto
It's like,
something.
"Go
She's
touch
like,
some
wait a minute.
grass."
Women are badass. You
Yes.
need to be more like women.
I think so too.
She's on it. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
And so we'll move on to our next piece of art because we've got 4 today, which is fun. Is my daughter from the other week sent me this one. This is Scary Bread.
Yeah.
She's on a kick of animation practice. So I think this is like the start of an early animation, but it's a scary loaf of bread.
Yeah. Yeah, bread can be scary.
It brings me joy. It brings me joy to see these.
Yeah.
She's so fun. And this one goes with her animation from last week where it was the eye closing and opening with those weird infinity S's that we somehow all know how to do. And it was really cool. This Halloween. Is her kick. She's fun. I cannot wait to share more of what she's been doing. This little girl is gonna she's gonna do things, and we keep reminding her it doesn't have to be art. Like, this can just be fun for you for the rest of your life. And she's gonna be a meteorologist. She already knows that. That's what she wants to do. She went from wanting to be a vet to being a meteorologist. And if you want to be one of those 2 things as a kid, you're gonna be one of those 2 things as an adult. Because you really don't get into one of those 2 things without really wanting to. And so I'm so glad that she still does her art on the side to let herself just decompress.
It's so relaxing.
She learns so much other stuff outside of it.
Yeah. Thinking in colors just flips a switch in your head, and it helps you get away from all the stresses 100%. It doesn't matter what you do. I mean, making puzzles does the same thing too, or like those diamond paintings, anything like that where you're just absorbed with color. That's just a great tip with everything that's going on right now. But just get some watercolors and go play with it, and then send your submissions to us, and it's just we will be so happy to get them.
Yeah, it brings it makes me smile when I get pieces of artwork, and I think it makes everybody else smile too. Like you just have fun. Just have fun, because that's the thing they can't take from you. Don't let this time of unfettered unaccountability and hatred take away your joy, because that's how they actually win. Like, if you remain joyful, and it's that joyful warrior thing. We know we've heard the phrase. It's kind of a poisoned phrase, but just be joyful. We
need a flower power movement. A flower power movement.
Yeah. Like, go watch Powerpuff Girls and go be like them. Go just have joy. Go beat Mojo Jojo and kick his ass and just have fun with joy and bright colors. Or submit.
Do you remember Cow and Chicken?
I don't know that one.
Cow and Chicken.
I was thinking that devil. The devil riding the subway.
My kids have been watching Phineas and Ferb.
I don't remember Cow and Chicken.
I vaguely do.
Mama had a chicken. Mama had a cow. Dad was bad. He didn't care how.
I know that. That sparks memories. This was a submission for us from our friend B at Beach Traverse, Banner and Backbone. And it just made me smile.
Yeah,
when I saw it.
I love that.
It was so fun. Thank you, B, for submitting this. I really hope you're here with us right now. Oh, she's back.
Okay.
We're doing musical faces again.
Oh, there she is.
Here we are.
She's back.
Yeah.
So, B, if you're not here right now, I'm sorry.
We'll make sure.
I wish you were. I will tag you in the show after anyway, for this piece of artwork, because this was fun. Thank you for submitting this. Please submit more, folks. This made me smile and just giggle out loud when I saw it, because it was
my gosh.
It was joyful.
It's such a fun
and every time I send one of those profile pics of my daughter, it's like I know that whoever's gonna get it is scrolling through all this hate mail and just awful shit. And then they're like, here's a cartoon version of you, and it's just sort of like, oh. I said it to Sean or to Shane, and he's like, "Oh my god, I was having such a bad day, and now I'm so happy." And it's just like, and then him telling that to me makes me happy. So it just kind of perpetuates, and it's just, yeah, please send us your art. Please just do it. Go get some paint. Go do it.
Make that positive feedback loop. We need more positive feedback loops.
Oh, we do.
Celebrate the little things.
Yeah.
Celebrate the little things, because when you celebrate the little things, you can then celebrate the big things in earnest. Like you can actually celebrate the big things because you know what went into it with all the little wins and all the little celebrations. Like that's what it's about. Positive. Let's make our positive feedback loops, and let's make open source systems that work for us. And then our final one.
Please.
Melissa, I think you're going to love this one too. I know you're going to love this one.
I love it.
Stop the violence. Yeah. That's what we need. Awesome.
I'll share it so I don't. Yeah. Fuck ICE. Stop the violence.
Why would you think I would love that? I am a Southern lady. That is improper. I don't.
Well, that's just proper.
Bless your heart.
Melissa's clutching her pearls right now.
Oh, yeah, no.
Melissa would clutch her pearls, rip them off, and then beat you with them.
And then probably
the whole time just shoot, Pearl. Where's the sense in your head?
Bless your fucking heart.
Right. Yes. I will rip my pearls off and then probably call you a pussy at some point.
Call him a testicle, though.
That's my word for 2026. That's my word. If you're not fighting this, you're a pussy. That's it. That's my word of the year.
I'm so glad this brings joy.
Yes,
I'm so glad this brings joy to everyone. Thank you. This is where we get to have.
We're getting the mic issue.
Oh, he'll come back. It's
He's coming.
The alien overlords have come down.
Or my
it's the tech bros are after us again.
The techie are after me again.
Yeah, the guys that get billions in taxpayer subsidies that we never get, they use it to destroy us.
And then let me reshare. This is where we get to move into our notes for the week. And Melissa, if you have any cool notes that you want to send this week too, I'll add it into our discussion. We're going to start with mine. One of my notes. I've got two. Walter's got two. Walter's got one. Jack's got two. I got to put Jack's second one in there too. But I'll at least showcase it. My first note for this week, shifted over to that, is around all of this topic that had been talking about in the beginning of the show, is the violence and the growth of that violence. So I've been writing a series of intelligent masculinity articles. I've been doing interviews. Jack is coming on for one of my interviews coming up. Walter was just interviewed last week. I've got Evan Fields this afternoon. And so I've written 2 articles so far as a response to that, plus all the written stuff that goes with each show. And my note was just a part of my overall article, is the moment a man accepts that mask and allows himself to believe his actions are justified because someone else authorized them, his masculinity rots, becoming a hollow shell filled with hate and resentment. A man performing and posturing, preening and screeching like a peacock, empty of grounded ethical principles, filled with an untethered aggression while lacking moral courage, and drunk on power without any mindful restraint. Mm-hmm. That pretty much describes ICE. It also is very illuminating in my mind with this week with Michael Cohen and the revolution, or the revealing that he has been angling for a pardon this whole fucking time.
Yeah.
And is part of the Epstein files. Michael Cohen wore a mask, called it a mea culpa, and duped millions of us So if he duped you, don't feel bad. He duped a lot of people. Many people were skeptical. I've been skeptical. I paid for some of his stuff for a while, and then I stopped when it became very clear that his mea culpa was false. But this is the mask we are talking about that lets hate like just fester and become our way of life and become like the prevalent trait is this idea where you get to wear a mask either physically or either literally or figuratively.
Yeah.
You get to put on this mask that says, I get to do as much hate and harm as I want without any repercussions.
Yeah.
And what's happened to the trans community and what's happening to other minority communities in the US and any community that is not within that very isolated, like small Nazi group, like, and that gets smaller and smaller too. Everyone outside that group deals with the trauma of men who put on those masks and do all this harm to everybody else.
Yeah.
So that's my note. That's my opening note for the week. As we get into our discussion.
Yeah. I want to just add on to that. Yesterday when I was talking with your weirdo friend, and actually it was in her podcast she did, where they live.
They, them.
Oh, I apologize. It was a yeah. And they did they mentioned that they live in this eternal, talking about this regime, they live in this eternal present, and they never even consider the consequences of their actions. So I think that's something we have to remember. We have to be planning for the future. We have to recognize, this denial of consequences is really what's causing all this. And your note really summarizes that very well.
Thanks. And this leads into, this is one of the reasons I wanted to have Melissa, or I'm glad Melissa joined us for this conversation too, is because of the anti-trans stuff that is all happening right now and the danger of trans folks just being caught up because they were near an immigrant or near somebody that ICE profiled and wanted to take out, like through no fault of their own, living their own fucking lives. Like a lot of them are kids, U.S. citizens, and so many of them are children.
ICE does not have jurisdiction over.
Yeah.
Right.
It is illegal kidnapping.
Yeah.
We need to start, this was a mistake we made in the beginning, I think, as a collective, as a society, was not calling things what they are. These are illegal kidnappings.
Yes, absolutely.
That's why I told, my advice to my son was, if he's working, because there'll be lots of times where he's really the only person front of the house, and then there's just the guys in the kitchen, and they're all immigrants. And so my best advice to him, and that's why we're looking for a tool to get this done as quickly as possible while he's spazzing out, is if he sees ICE pull in the parking lot, to immediately lock the front door, alert me and all the emergency contacts, and call 911 and get the local police there and say, I'm scared. I don't know what's going on, but there's masked men in front of my building. I am an American citizen. I am inside. I would feel comfortable not opening the door until you are here, talking to the law enforcement. I don't even know if that's the best advice, but that's all I had to give him.
I have a question. I have a couple clarifying questions. The restaurant, do they have a sign up front saying something like ICE doesn't, there's no permission to search this business or something
No.
that safeguard?
They're scared that will draw attention. You know what I mean?
Well, okay, well that's fine, but they could put it on a sheet of paper, and if your son needs to go lock the door and can quickly put it up, they don't have to have it up 24/7. So that's fine.
Okay.
That's a roadblock we can get rid of for them if they're afraid to have it up all the time. We could just have it printed out for in case of emergency. Lock front, back doors, put the sign up, again, call 911, like you said, and get into a spot that will keep them safe, that is thick walls. If there's somewhere in some of these restaurants or buildings have a wall that is steel, right? Usually, or a makeshift bathroom or something.
Yeah.
They're already trapped inside something. Just get somewhere else where they're not a sitting target in the middle of a room. while they call 911 and wait for help. But I mean, at that point, that's all we could do. At this point, like, we should not be trying to engage with them if they're actively coming. It's fight or flight, right?
Right.
If there's cameras that look out towards the back for like where they go to dump things out, they can look at those cameras, and if coast is clear, I would flight, right?
Yeah.
So you're not a sitting duck, but there's a lot to think about, and these are things that in a civil society we should not be thinking about, because your child should be able to just work the front of the house to get some pocket change, to then enjoy life as a kid, right? To
Right.
like, you know,
Right.
buy a quarter drink at the corner store like I was able to. Like,
Right.
these
I feel like
but
we
so
kind
I'm
of had
sorry.
this.
And maybe you might have better training just having been military. Everything that I'm telling you to do is just things that I have learned through my queer elders, because it's stuff I've had to live with and like know how to get out of danger just for being a queer person in the United States.
Right.
So
I think that also brings up a really good moment to transition then, Jack, to your first note that you sent me, and really just outlining what fears manifested into soon possibly law is going to look like, and how it hurts more than just the trans fucking community, like we keep talking about. It hurts everybody. It hurts everybody. And Jack, do you mind introducing your note and what you said and what you quoted here? Because I think it's really important.
For sure. So this week, SCOTUS is going to be ruling on the trans sports case, right? So this decision could potentially, I'll read the quote. This decision could potentially shape how Americans of any sex or gender are treated across all aspects of life, not just trans people, and not just in sports. Even Barrett, right? Justice Amy Coney Barrett, bless her heart, was a bit alarmed about what a broad decision here could do for women. Ms. Carbello, a Harvard law instructor and civil rights activist, told Aaron in the Morning it could result in segregation of women in a host of other areas of public life under the rationale that biologically, men are different and they need to be separated. Underlying this is the assumption that there is a universal scientific or legal definition enshrining two binary sexes, which there is not. So, this could keep your girls out of chess club, right? Because it could be something as simple as like they'll do some study that like girls are better than math before whatever age or whatever bullshit, to be like girls aren't allowed in chess club in elementary school anymore because it makes the boys cry. Because their brains are, you know, develop. Or it could put different rules on like just girls as a whole, like girls develop and go through puberty sooner, so what, when now we're allowed to marry 13-year-olds? Like these are slippery slopes. And we start with the trans community and we're like, okay, we can segregate and we can other people and dehumanize them and put them in these little silos and boxes to strip their rights. And as soon as human dignity becomes conditional, we're all fucked.
Yes.
Right? So if there is a condition for a child to play a sport and the condition is what's in their pants, what genitals do they have, who's checking it?
Yeah.
Like, how are we enforcing these things, first of all? And the same thing with going and using restrooms, right? This is the slippery slope. First, sports, right? Then what restrooms can they use, right? And when the target is trans children, it's not trans children, it's the community. It's that they're dipping their toes in the water to see how much you can get away with. And then it expands, right? In some states, there are already laws that there are anti-trans laws that start anyone 19 and under, right? 18 and 19-year-olds, as far as I know, are adults that can vote and enlist in the military. So we're in a very weird gray zone. The United States is not a safe country for trans folks to travel into. Therefore, one can it can get to the point where we would say that the US is not a safe place for trans people to live in, if it's not safe for them to travel into, right? Which is why I had to get out. just for my own self-preservation. I have friends that are still in the States, and I fear for them. But I think folks that have the ability to stand up need to stand up now, and it's time to maybe not go to your corporate jobs anymore, and go into your community and figure out what skills you have that could help. Even
Well,
if it's like
today is
cooking, right?
National Walkout Day.
Yeah, so
Today's
2
National
p.m.
Walkout Day.
2 p.m. wherever you are, log off. And why log back in until your rights are protected?
And I'll say this because at least at 2 p.m. Eastern, I won't be logging off, but 2 p.m. Central Time I will, because that'll be the end right after my interview with Evan Fields. So sort of perfect timing is take a couple hours for yourself too, and talk to yourself or do something. Log off doesn't mean don't do anything. And it might not mean log off for Walter or Melissa or Jack or I. What it might mean is we log out from the disgustingness of the world and we log into what we're doing here even more intentionally, and we give more powerful tools for people. And we say, and I spend that time starting the chat group for the community that wants to do open source software development. Like that, I can do. I can do that. That is an intentional act. Use this 2 p.m. walkout as an intentional act of then doing something meaningful. If you just walk off the job or walk out, that's not enough. You have to then take the next step, the courageous step. And this is all about courage right now, because it's going to be scary to walk off your job at 2 p.m. or log out of whatever you're doing in protest. It's scary. It takes courage to do. And then once you've done it, you have the courage to take the next step already and start doing the actions. So join us in that as we do actions at National Walk-Off Day. And this really scares me. What you're talking about here really scares me, because it's the trans community is cover for pedophilia. What this tells me is they are going after children. They want the ability to segregate girls and women and anyone who's not cis hetero male out of society, so that they can then laud superiority over them and say, we're better than you, so we get to do what we want to you without any repercussion. They teach this in Christian nationalist churches. This is like the philosophy for men, is you do no wrong. And the only one you have to apologize to is God. And he'll forgive you for everything that you do. But that's not what the Bible says. And that's not what Christianity or Judaism teaches. But this is where it lets them go. It gives them the cover of saying, oh, we're going after trans kids. But then your daughter, my wife, my friends get hurt because they're people too. It doesn't matter that they're my daughter or my wife or my friends. They're people. You do not lessen other people, because we all fucking lose from it. If Amy Coney Barrett can see that, more people see that. Like, this is not a weird opinion then.
But I think that Amy Coney Barrett sees this in a way that's threatening to herself. I covered this executive order, one of the first executive orders, one in the first round in that first week of January 20th last year, included an executive order about gender. And so we all know that executive orders don't really do anything, but what this is the end result of that. Now it's up to the Supreme Court that is actually going to be discussing the executive order. And in that executive order, the way that is framed and phrased is a designation of gender spaces. And I wrote a piece on it back then, and I said there is nothing stopping them from making the workplace a male space.
Yes.
There's nothing. And that's what Amy Coney Barrett has a
Mm-hmm.
problem with.
Yeah,
That's
because
what
it'll
she
kick her
sees.
off. It'll kick her off
She
SCOTUS.
sees a threat to herself and her career. And that's the only reason that she's alarmed by it.
I hope she takes it fucking seriously.
A wrong clock is right twice a day.
Right.
Yeah.
A wrong clock is right twice a day.
Yeah. And I hope she takes it fucking seriously, because that's what they will do. They will remove her. She would be the last of the women removed from the court, because they'll take the black women off first, because God forbid
they'll take them all
black
off at
people
once.
have fucking voices in this country. God forbid that women have voices in this country. God forbid we do anything fucking right in this country. We've exhausted all other options, guys. Let's finally do the right fucking thing. Like, let's do the right fucking thing and just confront white supremacy and Christian nationalism and say enough is enough. Qasim or Wajahad Ali says it really well, is one of the two sins of America that we've never confronted is white supremacy. Well, this is the new Confederacy. The new Confederacy is inspired by Nazis and the old Confederacy. Nazis were inspired by the old Confederacy. We need to tie those two things together in this country, because people think that being part of the Confederacy is cool. Well, it's fucking not. It's Nazism pre-Nazis. That's what being Confederate means, is you're just a fucking Nazi. And what Nazis do is other people and lessen people, because they're so fucking fragile that they don't know how to deal with things, because they're pieces of shit that don't know how to deal with things, because they outsource their accountability to everybody else and make it our fault that they do wrong. It is always our fault, never theirs. They make them problems, us problems.
Yep.
We
and
need
it's doomed to fail.
Them problems again.
Yep. And it's doomed to fail. This ideology fails. It has failed every time they've tried it. It's going to fail again. So it's just a matter of standing up for our own survival, because this isn't going to work.
I mean, Mitch McConnell,
and I think it's us like empowering each other too, to like be able to use harsh language, to speak truth to power, to not be afraid to say the word fuck if we need to get our point across.
Adam
right?
Kinzinger, fuck you.
To call people Nazis when they're being Nazis. To call people Nazis when they're being Nazi sympathizers, because there is no gray area. For this,
to talk about politics and religion
like
at
this
dinner.
isn't a Kinsey scale of fascism. It's either you're a fascist or you're not. Like, we need to start like buckling down, and the people in our life that are fascists, don't waste your breath. Call
and
them at this point. I'm sorry, at this point it's too late in the game. We need to call them so that we have space to build what we need to move forward at this point. And if they see the error of their ways, once they're shunned and they have no one to scream at but the walls and each other, maybe they'll figure it out and come. But at this point, their kids throwing a tantrum, and sometimes you just got to let them throw the tantrum by themselves while we move on with picking the stuff off the shelves at the grocery store.
And stop pretending it's a legitimate ideology.
And look at them and be like, you're embarrassing. You're throwing a tantrum, and then go back to what you're doing.
And say those
Call
words.
them out on their shit and be like, ew, you sound like a Nazi, and then move away.
You sound like a toddler and a Nazi. You're gross. And then leave. Don't explain yourself to them. Don't over-explain when you don't know Nazi
shit.
If that's what they are, if that's who they are, tell them.
And let them self-reflect.
It's on you.
Let them do the work.
It's on you to fix that, not me.
Absolutely.
I'm out. Like, I don't associate with Nazis. Bye. If you want me back in your life again, rethink what you're doing. We talk about it all the time. Put a line in stone, not in sand, in fucking stone. Set boundaries and keep the damn boundaries. Like,
respect
I have
yourself.
a Star of David on my forearm in the spot where they put Holocaust numbers for a fucking reason. Because nobody can tattoo me.
I've got a pink triangle.
Yeah. Nobody can tattoo me there because I already did it myself. So fuck off, Nazis. I've been taught to hate Nazis since I was a kid. I watched fucking Indiana Jones since I was a child. I grew up learning that you punch Nazis in the face. You go to a hard rock festival, you punch a fucking neo-Nazi and a skinhead who comes into the festival trying to break that shit. You don't let them in. You shame them. You shun them. We need to reinstitute shame Because
Yes.
shame is group think. Shame is a group emotion. Shame is all of us saying, you are not in the social contract. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I'm just like baffled when it became so impolite to beat up a Nazi. Like, because back in my day, when I was on the punk scene and I was dating a guy in the punk band, there was this thing where, like, if a Nazi came to your show, you had to kick his ass because it had to be known you weren't a Nazi band. Like, we don't promote that shit. So if you're going to show up to our show, and it was the same, like, 2 or 3 dudes that would come, and they get taken out back. So, like, at what point did it get unpopular or impolite to beat up a Nazi? Because it worked for us.
It worked for us too. And there was this weird shift. At least I felt this weird shift around like 2017, where everyone just got so afraid of being like politically incorrect that we just let everything slide. And like, no, like calling someone out for using the F slur is not the same thing as calling some like.
It's a lot of social engineering,
like, other
though.
things. It's all propaganda too.
Yeah,
right.
It's
so
we've
othered trans people, right? We've conflated the transgender community with drag queens. Drag queens, it's a form of art and expression, right? It's
drag is beautiful.
Drag is beautiful. It's an over-exaggeration of the most beautiful parts of the female form, right? Big eyelashes, wonderful makeup, the wigs or the dresses, right? The singing they do, the dancing they do. It's art. People don't walk around 24/7 in drag.
Yeah.
Could you imagine how exhausting that would be? Like, what? No one in
Also,
the room
your
takes their
skin
bra
would be
off or
fucking
their underwear
dead.
off to like, yeah, what the hell? Trans people are folks that look like me. We're just people who were assigned to one sex at birth, right? And have transitioned into whatever gender expression aligns with their core being, right? Cisgender people do this as well, right? Some cisgender men paint their fingernails, right? Or get maybe get hair transplants. Right? Maybe they get hair transplants and that's their gender affirming care, right? Some women get their the eyebrows tattooed. That's gender affirming care, right? Whatever you do to your personal body to make yourself feel better about your body is gender affirming care, no matter who you are.
Yeah.
And it's okay to affirm yourself and to respect yourself and to love yourself and to give yourself that freedom. And that's why they hate us, because trans people need to do so much internal work to work through the internalized transphobia that we have, because society has told us that there's something wrong with us inherently and that we do not deserve to occupy space. So after doing all of that work and coming out on the other side, and choosing to love yourself.
Yeah.
Right? There's so much strength in that. And for all the trans folks out there, whether or not you've been able to come out, whether or not you've truly stepped into your sunshine, I see you. I have planted the seeds for trees I'll never sit under, in the hopes that you get to sit in that shade.
Beautiful. Yeah.
You'll be okay. We're all okay. We have each other. We have to find our community, right? Please try and make friends with a safe neighbor that you physically have in your community that you can tell and share your fears with, so that they can help you find safe places. Maybe there is somewhere you can go, but a closed mouth does not get fed. So you have to go out, find your community. We'll be okay.
And this ties, that's beautiful, Jack. Thank you. And for those who need to find community too, welcome. This is a community that you are welcome in. Hands down. No ifs and or buts, no qualifiers. You're welcome here. Come hang out. I want you in my community because you're just like me. You're a person. You want to live happy. You want to experience joy. You want to see tomorrow. You want to see the end of today. You want to see 5 years from now. You want to plan for the future just like I do. You want to have a family and friends and groups around you that love and care about you, just like I do. because your problems are just the same as my problems in so many ways. Like, I'd rather see how we're similar than what makes us different. Like, what makes us the same? And that's an easier approach. That's the difference between us and those who are looking to progress values, and compared to those who want to regress, is we look at things and we go, how am I similar to that person? How does that impact my life in a different way too? How can I empathize, toxically empathize, I guess, in the US? How can I toxically empathize with this person and say that they are like me? They're so against seeing other people like themselves that they call it toxic empathy now, like toxic kindness,
toxic
or
empathy.
toxic compassion. That's literally what they're
wild.
calling it now.
Yeah.
And so this goes
propaganda.
to, because I'm going to shift to Melissa, your note. This goes directly into what you're talking about in the note that you shared with me, Melissa, because, is because yours is about Lyndon Johnson and the fact that it took until frickin' he was impacted.
My piece was on James Reeb, which I'm ashamed to say I didn't recognize the name off the top of my head. I keep a framed photo that I got at the Lorraine Motel of Dr. Martin Luther King on my desk. And it's one of my favorite pictures of him because he's kind of exasperated. He has this exasperated face. And I'm like, I feel you, bro. But I study his work extensively. I have studied it. And as I was, I always try to write something or do something on Martin Luther King, on his birthday. And I'm looking at his photo and I'm just thinking, my husband and I went to a community meeting where almost no people of color were represented. It was a lot of sort of affluent white people that just wanted to feel better about themselves. And it was a frustrating moment for me, and so I went home, and so of course I turned to Dr. King and I'm reading some of his stuff, and then I come across the name James Reeb, who is a Unitarian Universalist pastor, and I might add also a veteran. He was also a veteran, but James Reeb lived in like Missouri, I think, and when Selma was on television, when it was broadcast, he got a call from his local diocese that says, Dr. King has put out the call for clergy to come to Selma to help. Just any clergy that can come. So this man told his wife, take me to the airport. And he just packed a little bag and immediately the next day went to Selma. And what happened in Selma was that he was murdered for his proximity to the civil rights movement. He was murdered viciously, beaten with a metal rod. And his murderers were completely unrepentant in court. They found the people who did it, and everything. But so we saw the Civil Rights Act passed, but there was the voting rights aspect of it that was hung up. It was hung up in legislature, it was hung up in social commentary, it was hung, right? And then this white pastor dies, and all of a sudden, the Voting Rights Act goes through. There's outrage because a white pastor has been murdered. There had been Black people murdered in the Civil Rights Act by law enforcement, and the national outrage wasn't there. But a white man dies, and oh my God, now there's this thing that's happened, and now we can move forward. And then we see the exact same thing in 2026 when Renee, Keith, please forgive me, his last name with a P. Keith was murdered by ICE on New Year's Eve, and most people didn't even really hear about that until
Keith
after
Porter.
Keith Porter, right? Until after Renee Good is murdered by ICE, and a white woman dies, and now there's outrage. Now there's a swell of protests. Now there's action. There's demand. So the equation hasn't changed.
And Melissa, I'll add to that too. You think that you go back into the 90s, right? And the same thing.
Yes.
So this is between MLK and between now. In the 90s, the number of Black and brown trans women that were murdered, immeasurable. And then Matthew Shepard gets murdered, a white trans man.
Yeah.
And they made movies.
Yes.
Nothing changed, right? They're still murdering trans folks left and right.
Right.
So if they did that with our brown and black folks with MLK,
right,
they did that with trans folks already. They tested the waters in the 90s, right? Massive outcry, white person, nothing changed. They tested the waters now again today, right? They've been killing our
the
immigrant
equation
brethren.
is
Right?
the same, and no matter how you do the math, we have to realize that it's been evident and shown to us time and time again that the price of the death of white supremacy is white skin. That's and so we have to ask ourselves in this moment, if for all the work we do, are we willing to go out and put our body between an ICE agent and a Hispanic child? Because that's the answer. That's the answer that so many white liberals don't want to hear. They want to know how they can do this and that and what fundraiser they can participate in, what this and that. The answer is you have to be able to be willing, like in the mindset, to put your body between an ICE agent and a Hispanic school child trying to go to school. That's the answer. There's no other. It's uncomfortable. It's hard.
Yeah.
But that's where we're at.
And that's not a should. That's not a should be doing. That is a you need to be doing. Like, we're not talking about shoulds. Like, Will Fullwood talked with me about that on when I went on for the interview with him, is let's stop talking about what we should be doing and what are you actually doing, and what do you need to be doing right now, and how do you actually do it. And Melissa, your point's exactly right, is you have to be willing to put yourself in harm's way. You have to be willing to put yourself in a position that you are uncomfortable right now.
And I'd like to just jump in real quick, because I see Natasha, I see you in the chat. I see you. And we're all going through ethical dilemmas right now. Nurses are going through ethical dilemmas. Do they go to work and treat their immigrant patients, because ICE is now coming into hospitals, right? And then if a lot of nurses are brown and black skinned, right? They have dark, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter their nationality, their immigration status, right? It just matters the amount of melanin in your skin.
Yeah.
And so much hospital staff, right? So hospitals are falling apart now at this point. But then you have to think, right? If you see an atrocity happening in front of you, how much processing power does your amygdala have to get to your prefrontal cortex to get you to move, to be like, I have a kid at home, but this kid is being snatched and I'm watching a kidnapping and someone is not, like,
that's why you train.
Should not
that's
be
why
living
you train.
like this.
This is why we train the same things in the military over and over and over until we're sick of it, because it will become second nature in the moment.
Exactly.
When your fight or flight is triggered, your training is what will kick in. And this is what a lot of people in the white community are fundamentally missing, is the training piece of it. We have to set up those parallel systems of support, and then we have to train like our fucking life depends on it, because it might. I have kids too. I have a young child who is with me a lot during the day. I'm their primary transport to and from school. And we in our family have made some plans and some arrangements, and we still have more to go. We still have more to really flesh out what that looks like in the moment. But having some training and some plans in place with your immediate circle, your neighbors, your friends, and especially the people who live in your house, of like, hey, if this thing happens, this is what we're going to do. It's going to keep everybody from panicking.
Yeah. And I heard a good quote yesterday. I forget from who, but they said that fear is false evidence appearing real. So if you just think fear, it's false evidence appearing real. So if we start formulating plans and talking to each other and knowing what to do, making a go bag, having it next to your front door, right? So if you have to go, you grab the bag, right? We're going to pretend everyone's having a baby at the hospital right now, right? We need to have a bag, have your passport, like all your important paperwork and stuff all in one spot. You can leave with the clothes on your back, right? If you want to put an extra pair of socks in there, great idea, right? Socks and undies, always great. Don't worry about the rest of your clothes, right? But have a go bag and have a plan. So God forbid, right? Unfortunately, this is where we are at this point. There's no sense in like pretending everything is okay, because it's not. I can't go home. I will be detained and raped till I'm dead by ICE. We're using plain language now, right? We need to start talking to each other with both feet firmly planted in reality and with a sense of whimsy, because we still need to be human, right? But we need to have both feet firmly planted in reality. So please make your plans, make your go bags, put them next to the door.
And
always keep
it
a full
helps
tank of gas.
it helps alleviate some of that constant anxiety that we all have, like in that low hum right now. If you've got a bag where everybody has their documentation, their a paper copy of their birth certificate, social ID in a Ziploc bag inside a book bag with a pair of clothes. Just that, if I know I have to leave my house, I grab everybody's bag and we get in the car. And that in itself, okay, now I don't have to scramble to find my kid's birth certificate. We've got it all. It's ready to go. And
have
we
your
can
marriage
begin.
certificates,
Yes,
any super
everything.
important stuff that you would have to go to town hall or city hall to get.
Right.
Good idea.
Put in a folder, right? If you have a firebox, super. Put everything in your
use a
firebox.
firebox.
If you don't have a firebox, buy a firebox.
Yes.
It's worth it, right?
Yeah, buy a small safe of some sort that you can easily lock everything into. That's waterproof.
Most fireboxes have a little handle. You can run out with it.
And take it. It's a little briefcase, and that can go with you.
And I want to address something in the chat that's super, super, super important, because I'm in a similar position. Although my kids are older, so they are able to make this determination for themselves. Natasha in the chat says that she has an ex that is fully right-wing MAGA crazy. I also have an ex that has gone completely red pill. He's totally off the deep end. If I had a younger child still, in joint custody with this person, that would be my act of resistance, is keeping my kids safe. Point blank, period. So if Natasha's reason for staying in her house is to protect the future of her child, 100% valid. 100% valid, because the alternative would be, if she gets dragged away by ICE and held for however long a time, her ex is now going to have that kid in his custody, and who knows what's going to happen at that point. So that is 100% valid when you're looking at, like, we're not all freedom fighters, myself included. Right? Like, if my child is with me, that's part of our family planning. That is as hard as it is. I'm going to keep my mouth shut, and I'm going to protect my child first. Yeah.
And to that point too, Melissa, we all have our special skills, right? If I were still in the States, if I could still help, right? I'm a nurse. I'm not going to run into the crowd, but I'll stand on the sidelines and provide wound care to those that need it. Right?
Parallel systems of support.
Yes.
Exactly. A lot of us are in National Guard, right? If we haven't been called, it doesn't mean we can't go as a civilian and use what we are training to help de-escalate.
Right?
Yeah.
A good form of protesting is like, go use your First Amendment right, but also help de-escalate. Right? Like, we have to self-regulate at this point, because there are no laws. We are regulating each other. We are keeping ourselves in check and building what we want. So,
and that goes,
as long as everyone has a plan, you'll be all right. I'm just giving you my plan that we used to get out of here, because I'd been putting a plan together for months, and then I had to activate. So,
and that's one of those things too, like we talked about earlier, is these parallel systems of support. Not everyone is going to be out there with their bodies. Not everybody's going to be out on a screen talking. Like, as much as this is comfortable in our homes, we're also in danger because of what we do. Because Don Lemon is going to probably get indicted by this fucking administration for walking into a church and being a journalist. He was doing his job as a journalist. He had every right to be there. He had every protection to be there, because 1, he wasn't actually protesting. 2, he was a journalist. Journalists have protections because that's freedom of speech. That's freedom of expression in the U.S. That is the First Amendment. That is our First Amendment right, for him to express freely his thoughts and ideas, and protected under journalistic clauses, so that he can go in there and report what the hell happened and expose the truth. And this is, I'm saying this because this scares me. Like, they've gone after a journalist for having whistleblower information, which is highly illegal on the government's part, but they don't care. They're going to try and go after Don Lemon to make an example of him because he's black. because he was near black people, because he's not white. And they went and interrupted a church, a group of protesters that was a white church. And God forbid we interrupt poor fucking white people doing anything. But white people can walk into
At
a
a
church and murder people. Dylan
Mhm.
Rufo, or whatever the fuck your name was, who murdered a bunch of people in a church, and then they escorted him out alive. Had a black person done that, had a minority person done that in the country, that person would have been dead on sight. Dead on sight. No fucking questions asked. But we keep these motherfuckers, Kyle Rittenhouse, the Dylan, whatever your fucking last name is, we keep them alive. We hide them. We protect them. Jonathan Ross, agent of ICE, who murdered Renee Nicole Good in cold blood in the street in Minneapolis, Minnesota. All of the
did
other
you guys hear Noam
ICE
saying
agents.
Don't dox him?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's fucking bad
Yeah.
Fucking
asshole.
dumbass.
Yeah, fuck you, Noam.
And why
you
is
know
the
what
federal government using the word dox?
Yeah.
You're not doxing a federal agent. You're just revealing their information because that's Freedom of Information Act.
Bizarre.
We get to reveal who's in the
They're
government.
civil servants.
Yeah, they are servants. They serve us,
Yeah.
public service. That's what they're supposed to be doing. This is public oppression. Like, fuck no. Fuck them. Fuck all of them. And what it leads to is Walter's note, which is actually a note by Arturo.
Yeah.
And I'm going to share my sound for this one, and I'll mute myself when I play the video. So that there's not a weird feedback loop, but there is a video on here that I want to make sure that the audio comes through too for it, because I think it's going to be really powerful when we all see this.
Can I speak? Are we back on?
Yeah, go ahead, Walter.
I think we've been talking about a lot of the frontline stuff, and it's also important to have our day-to-day talks with people in our community who still have their heads in the sand. And I think if you show them this video, I mean, I wanted to mention before too, that, I mean, the United States, nobody really talked about the loss of life in Venezuela, all the people that were murdered there, and just this lack of humanity in this country, and the people denying. I mean, this is the kind of thing that should be on the news. You watch that. I mean, I've seen little kids like this, and my wife has to deal with this too. She is an ELL instructor, so she deals with a lot of kids who are dealing with traumas at home, and just when their bodies are crushed like that, when they're coming forward, and it's just like all the will to live is out of them, and the terror that they're experiencing. And it's just that Americans can look at a child like that, and that just, you just, no puede más is the word. You just can't take it anymore. Like, the amount of trauma that they've put on you, you can't take it anymore. And this could be stopped at any point. This shouldn't be happening. And it's just, this is where it gets me. It's like, and it's the white people that are just indifferent to this, and that you won't even talk to. I was out skiing the other day. I'm like, I said to a friend, I'm sick of having child rapists, have aggression against my family and want to kill my family because they don't look white enough for them. And people walking by were getting mad at me because I was saying this really loudly, and show them this video. And Nick and I were talking before. We should show people the shooting of Renee Nicole Good too, because some people haven't seen it. There's a lot of people that all they listen to is the regular media, and this
our kids,
propaganda.
Should we show the kids?
Yeah, and it's with this propaganda tidal wave where people are they're listening to the explanations and they're not seeing this human reality. They're torturing little kids, and
What's gotten me the most too, Walter, is hearing people going on saying that Well, she shouldn't have brought her 6-month-old to a protest. She was in her community. That family was in their community driving home from a basketball game.
Yeah.
And their 6-month-old almost died because illegal chemical agents are being used against civilians in the United States, against other humans in the US.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is why I have
Like,
so much
these are
respect for
wild
anybody who's
times.
having like meaningful conversation with MAGA right now, because I can't. I have run
Yeah.
out of all
Yeah,
bandwidth, because there's always something
I
like
just have
that. Well,
rage.
they shouldn't have this.
Yeah.
Well, they shouldn't have that.
I mean,
Well, they
and
shouldn't, like, oh my God, it's
to th- to
children.
that to that point, my in-law said to my husband and I that Renee's wife shouldn't have been talking back. We're a gay couple, and my father-in-law knows that I am just as hot-headed
Yeah.
as Renee's wife, if not more. I am
Yeah.
also Latino. Like, I go from blue to red real quick when I'm upset. And my husband would have also told the officer that he was not mad at him,
Yeah.
because my husband is good.
Yeah.
He is so good. So to get that from people who should, I suppose, love us unconditionally, and then to hear them in so many words tell us they don't,
Yeah.
because at that point it's just,
It's this is we've
I
talked
think
about
we're
this.
all gonna go like through a lot, and we're all gonna like find family now.
It's really important to know what's happening here and what we're up against, because the white supremacists don't see reality. They don't. They see
No.
a white supremacy narrative. And so even when they watch a video like this, they don't even see what went on there. They are so just out of step from reality. They just are looking for that white supremacy narrative, and then that's what they talk about. And so this is why when they hit us with that, you have to understand it from their point of view bullshit. All that thought terminating cliche stuff that they hit us with, all that is part of that huge mechanism of white supremacy. It's not a reasonable viewpoint. It's not an acceptable viewpoint to watch like this video of this kid, or to watch Renee Good's murder, and to come away from that thinking there was any justification there, because there is no justification. So our task is to put aside a lot of our conditioning, and it's stuff that, we all constantly have to work on ourselves, and we're constantly going to make mistakes. Like, I mean, I thank you, Nick, for pointing out when I inadvertently used the wrong pronoun. Thank you for that. And it's just, I'm just working on because it's like that stuff is just pounded into us, and we have to constantly be on it and work on it and be better and have grace with each other and continue to move on. But also the ones that are authentically working for it are one group, and we have to put the ones that are just completely committed to that white supremacy narrative of not seeing reality. They're in a different group. They need different tactics. We have to separate them, because that is just unacceptable when they're sitting there looking at those things and finding a reason to justify it. And we have to remember that's 90% of our society, and what we see in the news, it's all pressuring us all the time.
Yeah. And Walter makes a really good point, which is very, very nice for me here, is because the next note is actually a quote by Walter from my latest article on Who Shapes a Man. And I want to read what I wrote about what Walter said, but also what I said in response to it and around it. Is I tagged Walter in this. Walter offers a radically simple daily practice of voluntary accountability. An apology isn't weakness. I'm sorry. Only becomes powerful when it's honest and qualified. Quote by Walter Rhein. That simple yet powerful practice, identifying and accepting one's own share of harm, then naming it without any escape clauses, becomes an important sorting mechanism for where we focus our emotional energy. Those capable of accountability reciprocate with empathy and understand, while those invested in domination reveal themselves as they demand you apologize only ever on their behalf. This is what ICE is. This is what the blaming of Renee Nicole Good's wife is. This is what happens when men specifically outsource their accountability on every single person around them. Everyone around Jonathan Ross, this agent who murdered, this lawless paramilitary agent who murdered Renee Nicole Good, has been to blame her.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Cohen is the exact same example, as he continues to try and scapegoat and blame everyone around him for his actions in silencing someone. He thinks it's a win that he didn't silence Katie Johnson, but that he silenced some other girl. He thinks that is going to make us like him more. Even if there is a case saying that he silenced a second girl, bro, you silenced a rape victim. How does that make you a good person? You need to apologize for what you have done and let those consequences sink in. Like the whole theory of my intelligent masculinity discussion is that intelligent masculinity is learning how to take accountability and then the discipline to live with the consequences of your actions and values, be they good consequences or bad. Consequences are neutral until they happen. Your actions determine what those consequences will be. Michael Cohen, your consequence for being a protector of pedophiles and hiding the truth around Katie Johnson or the sale of the Palm Beach mansion from Donald Trump to a Russian billionaire or your connections with Epstein, your consequences are coming. The consequence of that is now you're getting fucking called out on Substack every goddamn day for protecting pedophiles. Lev Parnas is asking Ro Khanna to subpoena you in Congress because you're lying and protecting pedophiles. And that's what you are now known for. You had spent the last however many fucking years doing this fake mea culpa. All you had to do was keep going. But you couldn't apologize for the one thing that you needed to do, which was you silenced and hurt women. You abused your position and used it as abuse. And you don't want any capability or culpability in that. And you don't want to take any accountability. And Walter said it really well. An apology isn't weakness. It's only powerful, though, when it comes unqualified. Sorry, I wanted to go into that hard because I fucking hate Michael Cohen for what he's done. I hate what the things that he's done to our community and how broken he is and the damage he has done to so many powerful and incredible folks around this community and around this fight against fascism. And you suck, dude. Like, fuck you, man.
Can I
go ahead,
make an
Jack.
observation? Walter, Michael Cohen feels like the kid that you went to school with, right? Like y'all are about like similar grade level, I would assume. You went to the 5th grade around the same time. I'm not trying to be mean. But
I think I'm the older one.
But you know, but
that's okay. I'm happy to be. That's a privilege. But go ahead.
He feels like the guy in 5th grade, like the kid in 5th grade that really needed to be punched in the face and wasn't.
Yeah.
Right. And like it feels like a lot of these people in these high positions right now are the kids whose parents invented participation trophies and then us millennials got blamed for them.
Yeah.
But when like we didn't want them, but it was because of the Michael Cohens that like they were invented and then like we got blamed for it. Like we just caught the strays for Michael Cohen. But that's what it feels like, no? Like that one kid that really needed to get slapped around a little bit in grammar school.
I put him in the category of the status quo defenders, and I put Kinzinger in that and a bunch of other guys, Jeffries and Schumer, and it's these people that just default to the mechanism that exists of oppression, and then they just are so entitled within that because they're making no effort whatsoever, and they always revert to like, well, this is the way it's always been. This is tradition. This is with those kind of arguments, and then they just deny the realities of all the oppression. That's the part that's hard, though. Just like it's just been hitting so hard. Just the indifference to all the agony that's going on. And, like the attacks on Venezuela, and you got Americans cheering about this. It's an illegal assault that murders just 100 people. And all these there's been these lynchings going on, and then they're just, oh, well, it's suicide. It's like some guy broke his own arms and legs and then hanged himself from a tree. And then we're just supposed to, like, if you get mad about this and talk about it in public, they shun you. And yeah, Michael Cohen's the type of guy who'd be very effective at calling me hysterical for getting mad about being upset about seeing little kids just break down as they're being reunited with their parents. I mean, just that look of that poor little kid. And it's like, how are there so many adults in our society? And this is a lot of the people that watch that and feel nothing when they see that. They're raising their own kids, and the households those kids in, those kids are getting abused. And as a teacher, I mean, so often my wife comes home and she's just broken down. She's trying so hard to help these little kids. And I have to tell her, it's like the kindness you can be, like, you had that kid for an hour a day, and the kindness you can impart to that child in that hour, and just remind them that they're loved and that they deserve to live and they just have every right. And the kids are like, oh, so you're kind of showing me what a real parent should be. They've told her this. You're showing me what a real parent who actually cares about me, how they would act. And then this is American society. That's the other thing. And just like this lack of acceptance for the transgender community or the Hispanic community, or just anybody. Just, we can't, just intelligent people. Like me growing up, I used to get beat up just because I was smart. And it's just sort of like, why do we have to? And we won't talk about it. We won't talk about kids getting just violently beaten and murdered and raped. And if you talk about it, somehow you're the bad guy. If we say the day after a school shooting, let's not have any more school shootings, now's not the time to talk about this. We need to demand action now. And that's a big part of our activism. Don't wait for the midterms. Now,
don't wait for the weekend. Things can
be better right now.
Yeah.
They have to be.
Well, I saw somebody yesterday say that what we call manners and civility is set by white Christian nationalism. That's what set our structure of what we call morals and manners and politeness. So fuck it all. Fuck it all. Like,
it's all
they're the ones
construct
that made up this thing to control any people who weren't white and also white people and also white people. So fuck it all.
Yeah, that's the mechanism. It's all a social construct, and we can make our own new, better society. So we
be the change you want to see.
Firm boundaries, right? Call people out on their bullshit. Hold that firm boundary.
Yes. Understanding what's at work is so important and so empowering. So all the people here, that's why I always talk about white supremacy. It's once you see it and you see all these fake arguments and you see how they try to provoke you to just trigger a reaction within you to make you so you can't think rationally anymore. And once you understand the tactics they're throwing at you, it loses its power. And once white supremacy is drawn out into the light, it shrivels up and dies. That's why they only speak in dog whistles and the 88 and all these other little code words the 14 words, all these things that they invoke, and even our venerated traditions. All that is this white supremacy bullshit.
Speaking of dog whistles, there was a big dog whistle last week. Big chat out. I don't know if everyone else heard it, but while Lev was on CNN, Scott Jennings mentioned something along the lines of, let's see if the ACLU does as good as they do with the transports. Right? The ruling is not out yet. That already puts the assumption in the air that trans folks are going to get beat down again, as they deserve to be, and the ACLU sucks because they're using the ACLU. The ACLU is protecting the immigrants and everyone in Michigan right now. They're filing things, right? So that's a dog whistle. So to me, I've been hearing them for a while. That's the dog whistle. Like, go ahead. Like, all right, we got the immigrants. We're getting that sorted out. The ACLU isn't going to win on this trans thing. Go ahead, right? That's the green light. So please, folks, if you are trans or if you love a trans person, tread lightly. Have a plan. Make it go big.
Yeah, and I'll shift over here in a second to the final note that Jack had from Truth Matters on this one. But I want to comment, note in the chat around why I'm talking about Michael Cohen and why, to me, this is an issue. And I don't want it to go away. Because if we let Michael Cohen off the hook, we're just letting another powerful white man off the hook for his incredibly awful behavior and he is important. He was Trump's fixer for 14 fucking years.
Yeah.
He's not a random dude. I focus on Michael Cohen because Michael Cohen knows the shit. He knows. He is important. As much as we don't want him to be, as much as we want Michael Cohen out of our lives, unfortunately, he is really important right now. And we have to focus on him. And he is a model of what false, fragile masculinity looks like. And he is the perfect test case for my thesis on what intelligent masculinity is. So I'm going to focus on his dumb ass because he makes a great example for me. And I want to point his ass out. I want to call him out for what he is, which is a traitor to masculinity, which is
He's
a
a
fucking
poser.
abuser. He's an abuser and a poser. He peacocks around. He wants to be seen. He wants to preen in front of everybody with his big feathers out. He wants to be the center of your thoughts. I fucking hate him because of what he has done and because he has broken what he shows what broken masculinity is.
Yeah.
And I'm out here fighting
Mhm.
that. And if
Yeah.
we let him get away with it, just like we have let every other white man get away with it, they're going to keep fucking doing it.
Yep.
So I'm putting my foot down and I'm going to break and I'm going to keep at Michael Cohen the way I am. The reason I released any of these intelligent masculinity articles as early as I did is because of Michael Cohen. I released the first one this weekend because of him. And then yesterday I did this one because I wanted to keep it going. Like, he is the problem. And if we're unwilling to face Michael Cohen, how are we going to break Trump down? How are we going to face JD Vance? How are we going to face Pete Hegseth? How are we going to face Stephen Miller, who is literally a smeglomaniac and the worst human being in the fucking world? And yes, you heard me right. I said smeglomaniac. He is the smegma of megalomaniacs. But the price of this all is that we lose our dignity. We lose who we are as individuals if we don't confront this. So, as much as I agree that Michael Cohen is not worth the time personally, his influence in Trump world is. His history and closeness to the Epstein files is really important. And so I won't let that down. I won't let him get off the hook. I'm going to encourage more of you to keep going at him. If you're still a subscriber, unsubscribe. He went down like 11,000 subscribers in a day. How he still has 79,000 fucking subscribers, I don't fucking know what's wrong with the 79,000 of you that are still fucking subscribed to that pedophile protector. That's what he is. That's why I'm talking about him, because he is protecting pedophiles. He is hurting girls. He is hurting survivors. He's hurting boys. He's hurting all the victims. He's hurting everyone. So he needs to feel that hurt back because his actions need to have consequence. And so, no, I cannot let Michael Cohen go because he needs that consequence. So don't let him get off the hook. As much as you don't want to talk about him, keep doing it because dignity matters and dignity is not conditional. And we need to make sure that people know that, which is exactly what Jack's final note is. And I'm going to play the video on this one too. And then I'll unmute myself and we can discuss. And then we'll move on to our final. Let everybody sell themselves after we get a couple moments. This has been another incredible 2 hours with my friends. And Jack, thank you so much. I'm so proud of you, of having you as part of this community. You have taught me a lot. You are teaching me and you're just giving me courage. And I'm building from the courage you have because you have a lot more than I do. You have a lot more courage than I do. And I'm building off of that. And so let's take this.
I need someone to teach me how to do these lives, and then maybe I'll.
You're doing great.
We could talk.
I got you, brother. I can help you as you need. Got you, my friend. And so let's do this important piece of reference from Truth Matters on what we can all learn. And I will turn the audio back on here for it and mute myself. And then we'll have our final bit of discussion. Thanks, everyone, so far for being here with us. This has been incredible.
Germany built its democracy around one sentence. Article 1 of the German Constitution begins with, Die Würde des Menschen ist unantastbar. Human dignity shall be inviolable. Not optional, not conditional, not earned. This article was written after World War II in direct response to what happens when a state decides that some people are worth less than others. It does not say dignity depends on citizenship, language, or accents, or where you're from. It says the state has a duty to respect and protect human dignity. That means laws, enforcement, and institutions are bound by it. In Germany, this article sits above politics. That means not even the government can override it. That's the lesson history taught. When dignity becomes conditional, discrimination isn't far behind. Article 1 exists because never again had to be written into law.
Never again had to be written into law, and the U.S. didn't fucking write it into ours.
No.
Yep.
And that's so powerful, Jack. Thank you for sharing that one.
Yeah, it like hit my core. I was like, this is everything I've been trying to get at. Like, this is just simply put, human dignity is not conditional.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
dignity comes before love. I don't care if you love me, you got to give me dignity.
Yeah. You can't love something if you don't give it dignity. Like, you have to give something dignity. And Amber makes a good point in our chat is 30% of the country is probably lost at the moment. Yes. Will they be lost forever? No. Are they lost right now? Yes. Does that mean we give up on some of them? Yes. We guard our emotional sphere of influence and our emotional bounds. That was part of what Walter said in his note or in his quote is you have to make a decision when an apology happens. If you apologize to somebody and that apology becomes a discussion where you guys both people in the conversation are able to admit fault and learn, that is a person you want to be around because to them, your dignity isn't conditional. You are not apologizing by yourself. They are admitting fault too. They realize that you have dignity and you're also a person who deserves an apology back. If the apology comes with, well, you did this wrong to me and I need you to apologize for it, and then you admit what you did wrong, and then they go, and you also did this wrong and this wrong and this wrong. That is not someone you need in your life. Cut them out. You don't need that. You don't need that because to them, you come with a condition. Your condition is you must meet their emotional needs only. And the German law basically, like their first article said, no, everybody deserves that emotional boundary and that emotional dignity that we are just as valuable as the other person. I think that's a huge point we all need to learn. So we're just as valuable as each other.
Yeah.
Guys.
We need to demand respect.
Yeah. Let's do this as, I guess, as a closing note for, I'll hide the icon because it's over Walter's face. We don't want that. We'll do this as a closing. We'll do this as a closing note then on final thoughts from everybody of how we want to sum up what you want to sum up and leave folks with. Jack, I'll let you go first because you're our amazing special guest today. And I also have to find Melissa's QR code while I do it. So Jack, please sell yourself as much as you want. I'm so glad that
I am too. That was wonderful, Jack.
Thank you for being with us, my friend. Jack, please sell yourself.
Thank you so much for having me on. Thank you for hearing my screaming into the night while we were all watching that CNN. And I'm like, you have to have me on sooner.
Thank you for reaching out too. I appreciate it. Anytime you want. Like I love these discussions with you. This is fun. You're welcome back whenever you want.
I'm around. I am in sanctuary right now. So this is me. I'm Jack. I'm a nurse. I love writing with fountain pens, building mechanical keyboards, knitting, and cross stitching. Nick, you didn't show my dinosaur that I sent you.
You sent me one? Where is?
Yeah, I sent you my art.
Did I? Oh no!
So Nick's
Hold on.
fired now. I'm going to take over the show next week. Teasing. My beard will be longer by the time we get there.
There it is. I missed it.
We're bringing
Oh,
it.
gosh.
We're bringing
I'm
it back from the
getting
dead.
It's going to
happy to
come
be
back.
everyone's trans older brother. So if you need someone to knock some sense into your head, I'm here. I speak multiple languages. Hit me up in Portuguese, Spanish, French, English.
I cannot
Whatever you
believe
need, I'm here for you.
I cannot believe I missed your piece of art. Hold on, we're going back a screen. We're doing this. We need this for a second. We're going to go just a little bit longer for a moment. Because, yes.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah, that seems practical.
I love this. I'm so sorry. I missed this earlier. Thank you, Jack. Thank you for pointing it out so that it is here, because this is so cute. My daughter would love this so much. She's so into.
I got a dinosaur. Oh, he lost it. He lost himself.
Oh no!
My daughter's got a drawing of a dinosaur too, because there's a part in our book where a gnome is riding around on a T-Rex. So
it'll come back.
Nice.
Hold on, we're all back as we do musical spaces again, and I collapse on the screen. Is my daughter would love this?
Yeah.
What's the medium there? Is it stitching?
It's cross stitch. Yeah, that's a cross stitch I made for my husband when we first started dating.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is great for cross stitch. Wow.
Yeah, he made me. I have a Mario jumping up and hitting like little coin things that he made me that I had framed on my desk at work, and I made him that.
So awesome.
That's freaking awesome.
I love that. I think this was a great way to close out our show, is get a final piece of artwork and a little bit of joy. So back to selling each other too. Thank you, Jack, for that. It's also going to go into the show notes. Everybody's piece of artwork goes into the show notes as part of the gallery, so everybody can see all the beautiful art show. Thank you so much for people who have Jack. Thank you so much for joining us and selling yourself too. Please subscribe to Jack and become part of his community and our community as we build this for everybody and around everybody and with everybody, because we're a co-op of fun, co-op of joy here.
A co-op of fun.
A co-op of fun. And with that, we have our good friend Melissa Corrigan, who is a co-op of fun too, and that's an amazing counter story to
depends on the day you catch me.
You write a great counter story to so much, and I love you and all the things you're doing. So thank you for joining us too and hopping in this discussion. I will remember to tag you after the show too. I don't know if it'll pop up on your inbox or not, but I'll make sure you're tagged in this one. So Melissa, sell yourself.
Awesome.
Even though most people know you, but sell yourself.
Well, yeah, I am of Counter Story Media, and I'm pushing to get back to sort of my personal mission and roots, which is auditing the narrative one story at a time. And so what that means is looking at these big pre-existing societal narratives and then look for the voice that's the little squeak in the corner that's not really being heard. And I'm going to go ahead and amplify that and tell that story, because that's what we need to be looking at. That's where true change is coming. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm about to share a really devastating story of an American citizen in Alabama who has been falsely imprisoned for 6 months, medical neglect, like lots of really bad stuff, all for the crime of having an anti-Trump sign in his yard. And that's completely real. 100% factual, 100% real. It's horrendous. So that's coming out hopefully tomorrow or the next day. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm working on. And I'm just that loudmouth crazy bitch that says pussy a lot and won't shut up.
We need that in our life.
We do.
We need it. History is riddled with men telling women to tone it down when men should be toning it up with those women. And so I found a woman who tones it up, and I stick by her side. I follow a lot of Melissa's lead, I'll be honest. Like, I follow Melissa's lead in a lot of areas because she knows what she's doing and she does it well. And she's, even if she doesn't think about it, like you're doing a great job.
Yes.
Love you, Melissa.
Oh,
thank you, friend.
And then we have my great friend and co-host Walter Rhein, who'd rather be writing, but isn't.
I would. I'd rather not.
Walter, sell yourself.
Rather than fighting fascism, I'd rather be writing. But here we are. And oh, Melissa, it's so good to see you. It's been a while. We have to talk again soon. I keep wanting to do it, but then everybody's so busy. And Jack, it's been so wonderful. You've made some, and I like when you spoke softly. you were carrying a big stick, because you said some wonderful things today, and
Yes.
you need to be podcasting more. But I think the thought I wrote down for the end here is just embracing that idea that we are imperfect. I mean, that's the idea. That's the opposite of supremacy, right? And it ties into this Michael Cohen stuff, because for a year I've been saying there's no need for him to have 100,000 paid supporters. It's like we need diverse voices. We need as many as possible. We need to spread it around. We need 50,000 people that all have 1,000 paid subscribers, not one guy who has 50 million. And that's the same thing with guys like Adam Kinzinger, who then they get this platform, they pretend that they're perfect. And that's people are in America, people are attracted to that illusion of perfection, which is a lie. And so we have to recondition ourselves. If their whole spiel or thing is that they're like, I'm this authority, I'm the perfect authority, you should subscribe to me and leave all those other voices behind, which so many people, without even thinking about it, that's what they instantly flock to. It's like, that's the issue we have. That's what we have to fix. So find the people that are willing to say, I'm imperfect, I made a mistake, I'm trying to be better, I'm trying to learn about these things. And it's like, we have to recognize, we have to peel back those layers. I talk about it with Will Forward all the time in our discussions on racism, because it's so deeply ingrained in us, these things. And once you just recognize that the actions you're doing are hurting people rather than ignoring it, then you open up the ability to learn and become a better person. And all these things then follow. And we end up in a society that guarantees human dignity for all, with like that lovely clip that Jack showed. So yeah, embrace your imperfections. I mean, don't be afraid of them. That helps you embrace your accountability. Speak about it, call other people out, and have nice conversations about those things. And we'll learn together, and we'll love each other better. And we'll stop having to be hit in the face or shot in the face, or stop having to watch little kids break down and cry. And I think we'll spend more time writing and making art and enjoying our time together. So that's what I have to say.
And spreading joy.
Yeah.
And thank you, Walter. And I'm going to close out kind of quick because I want to get everyone shifted over to Stephanie Wilson's live that she's got going right now. She has Amanda Littman on. It's cross-platforming on Sick of This Shit publication and Banner and Backbone on Substack. So you probably all got that notification. But I want everybody to go join Stephanie's live here in a minute. I know on the post show notes it won't make sense for anybody because the live will have already happened. So just be warned. If you're live right now with us, jump over to Stephanie Wilson's when you're done for Freedom Over Fascism. That's going to be a really great discussion with Amanda Littman. She's a friend of mine on Sick of the Shit publications too. So come help me. So come help support me here so we can put on more shows like this. Platform is growing rapidly, doing some really incredible projects, especially on the intelligent masculinity stuff, and calling out men who need it. So that we can push our society forward in the ways that we want to, and be that change that we desire and need to be. So thank you, everyone, to the nearly 600 people of us, nearly there on all of our platforms. Thank you for being with us today. Thank you for caring and being part of this community. And please remember, let's stop being sick of this shit and let's do this shit. I'll see y'all next week. Have a great day and go watch Stephanie Wilson. Thanks, friends. I appreciate y'all.